Good day, good afternoon, good night. It depends on where you are. So, welcome again to Pepe's Bar. So, Pepe's Bar is a special edition. Um, I think the thing that I like to do most because I want to get the people known better. I want to go deep into the people and not talk about business because I'm talking about business the whole day. And today I want to get her known better. And today we have Brittany with us. I'm very happy to welcome her. Hi, Brittany. How are
Hi,
you?
hi everyone. Good morning, good evening, good night. I am doing good today. Thank you so much for having me here on Pepe's Bard, Jose.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you there. So I wanted for a long time
Yeah.
to have you here, and when I paused that I want to have you there. So the first person who came out and said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," was Lisa Crispin, and for me was a sign that I again did the right choice. So thanks so much for being there. So
Definitely.
we are Pepe's Bar. So and in the Pepe's Bar you can drink from water over milk, coffee, whatever. So what are you drinking today? If
Well,
you are drinking, because it's early in the morning.
yeah, it is early in the morning, but I had big plans. I had planned to go get our red stripe beer, which is our Jamaican drink. But I didn't make it to the supermarket. So what I did instead is I have my husband's whiskey glass
Okay.
and some water. So I'll start light. But maybe later I'll add some actual
Okay.
some beer to this.
So I have a surprise for you and a story
Okay.
also to tell for you. So I have a bottle of rum from the Canary Island. This only 7 years. They're also 12, 18, whatever. So I don't know where I got that because some people are giving me things. This is from the Canary Island, from Gran Canaria, where
Yeah.
I'm coming, where the place where I'm coming from. And today, when I was preparing myself for this, so I was reading a little bit about Jamaica because you are based in Jamaica. We will talk a little bit later about that. And I learned something today because we there is a lot of similarities between the Caribbean island and the Canary Island. So one of the things is that we have cigars or tobacco, yeah,
Yeah.
and the other thing is that we have room.
Yeah.
And the thing is very interesting because I didn't know that people from the Canary Island went to Jamaica
Mm,
300 years ago, whatever.
yeah.
So and they brought um, room.
Back.
And yeah, yeah, no, no, they brought room there, so they create the room there, and they brought from Jamaica and Cuba cigars or tobacco.
Yeah.
So, but to tell the truth completely, the room were not invented in the Canary Island or in Spain or in UK, whatever. So it's come from Asia.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
so already at that point, globalization was a topic.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
And that for you today, I never drink rum, but today I will do that.
And you
So
opened it today for me. I'm
yes, yes, of course,
appreciative.
yes, of course. So you have to know that in the Canary Island, it's called a pisco, okay?
Okay.
And the people, when I grew up, the men were sitting in the streets in front of the houses,
Mhm.
and the neighbors, and they got already in the morning a pisco, and they got it. So cheers. Thanks so much for being there.
Cheers. Thank you. Mm, I would love to try that one when I see you in person.
Yeah, I will bring to the Agile Testing Days.
And I
So
will bring mine that I don't have today. I promise. I've got you covered when we're in Germany.
okay, that's good. So I know you a little bit.
Yes.
Some people may know you a bit more or a bit less, but who are you?
Well, I would describe myself as a Jamaican technologist. I think I have a lot of roles that I've played or play, to be honest. Right now, my role is senior QA consultant or AI lead strategist. But again, it's just a title. Underneath all of that, I am just somebody who is passionate about technology. And I have skills in design. So I've just been trying to merge my design, my love for design, and my love for technology to have an impact. That's me. And I'm a Jamaican, which is, I think, a very important thing to call out because I feel like I'm representing the Caribbean in a big way, and I'm very proud of that too.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice. So you said you're married?
Yes, I am. I've been married for about 7 years. Oh, you have to bear with me. I always mix it up because we were dating from like 2013. We got married in 2018, and yeah, the rest is history. The best decision I've made.
Yeah. Okay. That's. I mean, I made this decision twice.
Yeah.
And the first one I got two children. The second one I got two children too. And
Oh,
the best decision was to marry the second time,
yeah.
because I thought they will not marry again,
Yeah.
but I married and found the love of my life.
I love that for you. That's how
Yeah.
I feel too with my husband. He is, I mean, I feel like whenever we talk about marriage, especially in my age group, people expect it to be like all rosy and, these how people put it out on social media, for example. But I like to be real about the marriage. And for me, with my husband, it's a partnership.
Okay.
It's a very good partnership. We do everything together. And when we do it together, it always turns out great.
Okay.
So
That's
I have one son, by the way.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 7 now. I want to say 7 going on 17 because of his personality.
Yeah, I can tell you amazing time. I have four, so it's
Yeah.
four are difference, and I don't want to miss them. But
Yeah.
I said in the next life I get a cat.
Yeah. You get, I know what you're talking about. It's a lot of work. Love them to pieces, but it's a lot of work.
Okay, so let's go dive a little bit on deep dive a little bit in you and your life.
Okay.
And so the first question is, or the second question at the moment is, what is the driver in your life?
The driver. The driver in my life is my why, which is just to make an impact. I really want to leave a legacy when I am not here for my son, for my generations after me to see. That's my drive. Like I wake up in the morning thinking, not necessarily comparing myself to anybody else, but comparing to myself to how I operated last week, for example. And I'll see, okay, maybe I need to improve in this area, which is what I was mentioning to you earlier about my time management thing, right? That's me looking at myself and reflecting and saying, hey, no, we need to get back on track here with that. So my driver is just to um, be the best version of myself that I can be. And I've gotten to a point now in my life where I'm like, let me just take that mission that I have one day at a time. Yeah. I used to be a major planner. Now I'm struggling because I'm just like, no, I need to be present and just take it one day at a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you ever regretted the decision
Which one?
in
And
your life?
in my life? Or any decision?
Do you ever regret a decision?
Yes. I think the thing that comes to mind now is what I regret is probably not saying things in moments when I feel like saying. So earlier in my career, I used to hold back from giving feedback, even in the QA space, right? Giving feedback on the application or giving feedback to the devs, really expressing how I'm feeling inside. And what I've learned is that that's the thing that does make the difference. So I think that's my biggest regret, not saying things earlier or sooner. But I've gotten to a point now where I am comfortable sharing what is in my heart and just trusting that gut feeling that I have about a certain situation, you know?
What do you learn from pain?
Pain. That it's a natural part of life. That's what I've learned. Like, you can't have the good parts without the bad parts. So what the point that I've come to in my life now too is, if there's pain, I know that it's not gonna last forever.
Okay.
And I try to remind myself that there's that saying that it's always darkest before it's dawn. Whenever there is pain, that's what I try to keep in mind, that we're gonna make it through, and on the other side of pain is the joy.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you deal with the stress?
Yeah. I think I have to work on how I deal with stress. I cry. I am a crier. Sometimes I get overwhelmed with the stress of my work for QA and just in life with being a mom, and I just have to retreat. I will have to cry to let it out. Then one thing that I know really helps me and has been helping me over the years is like journaling my thoughts and getting those feelings out on paper in an unbiased way. So that's another way that I deal with stress in every situation. I do have my support system too. So on my very stressful days, I call my mom. Thank God she's still here. And I talk to her about it. I do talk to my husband about the stuff too. So I think just having people around that you can, rely on and share these things with, it helps. So you know that you're not the only person going through a stressful situation. Yeah. Yeah.
But crying is. I would like to be able to cry, but I
Oh,
can't. When I'm in stress, I think that the crying is also a kind of relief, no? Because you
yeah.
said, okay, wow, I let the things go out or whatever. So I can't. I will laugh. The only thing that changed in my life is after having my kids.
Yeah.
Then I cry when I see a film.
Yes. That's beautiful.
This is with my kids. So before I was painless, let's say in that way, but
Yeah.
with the kids, just really for anything. Oh my God! So, but
I
not for stress, and this is really a pain. I would love to just to cry or do something, and then I get relief.
get it out. And I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying not to be a crier. I cry when I'm stressed. I cry when I'm angry. Like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would love to contain it a little bit, you
Yeah.
know?
No, when I'm angry, I try to be quiet.
Ah,
I,
yeah.
I try not to explode, and I'm not even I don't how do you call it? I'm not loud. I try
Yeah.
to calm down. I try to even
Just blow it out.
I just need to keep the stress level low,
Yeah.
and because if I explode, then
So
the person who's coming out is not the right person.
yes, I get that. And so my explosion is the crying. That's the explosion for me. Not so great. Yeah.
What does generosity look like in your daily life?
Hmm. I think it looks like me giving whoever I'm dealing with my undivided attention. I feel like that's something that not a lot of people get these days. You'd be talking to somebody and they're on their phone or they're watching something and not actually listening to you.
Yeah.
So in my everyday interactions, I have multiple meetings a day, and I just try to show up fully and hear you and feel what it is you're feeling. I'm an empath by nature, so I do tend to feel strongly what others are feeling around me. But I think that's my way of giving back too. because I don't think there are that many people out there who do that. There are a few of us, but and we do it well. Also, there are days when I try to do the actual physical things of giving back. So my husband actually recently pointed out to me that I am being generous right now without even realizing it. In that, before I came into QA, I was doing graphic design. And a friend of his reached out recently, asked for some help with some graphics. And I said yes. And I've been doing the graphics just, out of helping, just like genuinely just helping out. But the impact that the graphics are having on what his friend is doing, it's exponential. It's bigger than me, and I didn't even realize. And that was one of those call outs that my husband made to me today, saying, hey, look at you giving back. You don't even realize how much of an impact you're making here, but thank you. So yeah, I think that's how I do it. I try to shine. You called me a star, and I appreciate that, because I think that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to shine my light wherever I go.
Yeah, I think shining is important, because this is, and I think it needs to be learned, because many people don't want to shine. But I think that everybody has a light.
Yeah.
And we are all different, and we all have our light. And I think that people need to learn that, not really to hide. And and I know that this is difficult, because not everybody is like I am, that I'm go there and say, hey, I am here and whatever. And there are other people that needs the time and need also a safe place to talk or to shine.
Yeah.
Because you need to feel safe, especially if you feel different.
Yeah, for
And,
sure.
and it doesn't mean that you are different, so you feel different, and you need this you need this safe space just to be there. And that's something that I try to give in where I'm living, within my family, of course, and friends, but also at the Agile Testing Days. So we try. You will be there for the first time, and we try to give this safe space that the people can shine if they want to shine.
Yes.
That's that's the story. So, like I said, I have so many questions, and I need to look so that I
Getting the ones that you want to ask. No problem.
okay. I mean, you talked a few minutes ago about that you like to have had given feedback earlier, whatever. So, but do you have any recommendation for your younger self?
For my younger self, I actually have a post pending for my younger self. I was writing to myself at 15. I think the draft says more to what I said earlier about trusting my intuition, listening to myself. I wish I did that more then. So I would say, please do that, 15-year-old Brittany. Also to keep my well, no, I guess I'm already doing that. I was gonna say keep my mind open, but I'm open-minded, which is how I think I ended up in this field. How I ended up here with you talking at this moment is because I've been open to whatever life throws or sends my way. So I think just to maintain that's something that will carry me through life. You might have a plan for yourself, but just listen to what the universe is saying and take that and adjust. It's okay. It's going to be okay. That's actually the great one. I would say it's going to be okay.
To be okay. Yeah, the thing is, for myself, I mean, I'm a little bit older than you. I guess I could be your father. I think so. And and of course, there is a lot of things that I may regret, and there is a lot of recommendations that I would make to the young Pepe. But
Right.
I think that all these recommendations and all of these regrets that I would do would change the person who I am today.
Yeah.
I think, of course, there are a lot of painful things and things that are happening to me now that would say, okay, maybe 10 years ago, if I would do that, today I will be in another position.
Mhm.
And but that's life. Life means also um, to take the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah. Just don't give up. That is it.
Is there a road not taken in your life?
Okay, can you say that again?
Is there a road not taken in your life?
A route not taken. Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
they're based on the same. It means if you look back,
Yeah.
uh, if there is a path that you was close to follow, but then you decide not to take it, and today you would say, "Wow,
Maybe I would change it. No, I think my route is actually perfect for me. That's how I've been feeling a lot this last month, to be specific too, because with everything happening, it's like all the things that I wanted last year and the year before are coming this way now. So I've always been one to go after what I want. Um so even with my marriage, with my son, my personal life, this is what I wanted for myself, and I'm glad that I have it now. I wouldn't change that. Same as you with the, if there were any things in the past to change, no, I wouldn't change it because it made me who I am, the bad and the good things. Because there's a lot of bad things, but there are equally as much good things
yeah,
to to highlight in life, right? So I can't think of a route that I haven't taken, or maybe it's just to, like, I have plans. I want to put products out there, and I want to write a book, and I want to do newsletters, and continue to share. These are things that have been in my backlog for a while. I wouldn't call them routes not taken. I just haven't had time to go on that route yet.
okay, okay, that's interesting. You know,
Yeah.
for that there is a midlife crisis.
No, it's fine. I get you. I haven't had mine. Well, I don't know if I've had mine yet, but last year did hit me pretty hard. Right.
Okay. Do,
But
do
yeah.
you miss something in your life? Is there a wish you have?
Hmm. Yes. A wish that I have is to be able to travel more with my family. I want to see more of the world. It's never been this strong in me until recently, because we've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, the ones that people take when they're walking through cities in like Italy, or just exotic places that you don't hear a lot of people going to. And I I want to go and experience that. I want to smell the air. I want to hear the people talk. I want to experience life outside of my little island.
Yeah, but that's the thing that we have when we are from Ireland. I
Yeah.
mean, I love Gran Canaria, of course, and I love Spain. I love everything, but being in Ireland, we are 1,500 kilometers south from Spain, on the
Mhm.
west coast of Africa, so next to Sahara, and south from Morocco, and or at the border to Morocco. So and to travel away from Gran Canaria. And nowadays it's easier because the government um, give you money or pay part of the money to travel away.
Mhm.
But when I was a child or a young boy there, you cannot afford that,
Yeah.
and it was impossible. And to think about being in Europe or because I don't know how it's in Jamaica, but in the Canary Island, at that point, I mean, 50 years ago or 40 years ago was difficult,
Yeah.
and the money is an issue. I mean, living in an island, because just when you are living in Berlin, you can take the train, or you can go by car, and you
Right.
can, with not with a little money, but
Yeah.
you can afford that. But when you are living in Jamaica, and you
Yeah.
said, okay, I would like to see Toronto,
Yeah. It's a
is
lot.
you are traveling 8 hours or 10 hours to go to Toronto,
Yeah.
and you have to pay that, and
Yeah.
this is another kind of business.
Yeah. It's the same. It's the same here. You said it well. Cost is a factor, but also time and just I want to say cost is the main factor. There's so many places, but the trips from Jamaica are so expensive, and trips to Jamaica are kind of expensive too. I know.
Yeah. But I would love to go there. If I go there, I will speak with you, because I really would love. I mean, I learned today. I haven't said that. I learned today that Jamaica has a meaning, and Jamaica is the land of wood and water.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know. I didn't know that.
I love that you did your research on the island. I appreciate that.
Of course, because I'm interested on
Yeah.
Europe, and I think that's you deserve that, because for me it was interesting and story. So I like to learn a little bit too.
Yeah.
So let's go back to you.
Okay.
So how was your childhood?
My childhood, I like to share this. I was born in the countryside, in a parish called St. Mary. Actually, St. Anne, born at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, but lived in St. Mary, which is I was almost bordering St. Anne and St. Mary. So it's like the rural side of Jamaica. I'm up in the bushes. I'm what you call a country girl, by heart. But I moved to Kingston when I was about 7 or 8, and I've been living in the city since. But I have fond memories of my childhood in Three Hills, St. Mary. I used to watch Pocahontas back then. Yeah. And, seeing this girl out in the woods, I used to pretend to play and be her outside in the yard and just enjoying nature. Um, I love that part of my life because it's my humble beginnings. And back then when I got my first computer, we had a computer maybe when I was around 10. I wouldn't have seen myself at this point now where I am doing what I'm doing with QA and preparing to speak at Agile Testing Days and all of that. But my childhood was good for the most part. I want to say my father wasn't around, but I had a stepfather in my life. My mom was my rock. She was always there for me. My grandparents always there, and they did what they could to make my life comfortable and expose me to things. So I'm always grateful to them for that. Yeah, I wouldn't be who I am without that part of my life.
Yeah, I always said we are a reflection of our childhood. It depends on how your childhood was. This reflect how you are as a person.
Yeah.
Of course, you can change many things, but you
Yeah.
see that what your family is giving you is what you are giving also to your child or children.
Yeah.
And I see that with my children, and I get surprised because all of them are different, of course. They have their own personality, but they have the same core.
Yeah.
And that's for me the best. And
Yeah.
I'm a happy man on that. Who saw you clearly before you had words for yourself?
Stacy Kirk. I talk about
Answer Stacy. I know her. You know that I know her.
yeah.
I know
I
her.
talk about her a lot. People don't get it, but she's the one who saw me first. She was the one who I was doing graphic design for Quality Works. That's how I started with the company and doing the marketing materials. But she was the one who pointed out to me and said, "You have some really good skills. You should try testing." And she kind of, gave me an idea of what the roles could look like. From she introduced me to the product manager role and the product owner role and the QA role, and she's like, you just, spend some time and figure out where you will be comfortable. So I owe Stacey a lot. She created that space too for me and the team at Quality Works back then to really shine. She did that. So I like to pay her flowers all the time because I want her to know that it was a very big impact that she had on my life and by extension my son's life and other people's lives here, right? But she really did that for me. I don't know where I would be if I didn't start with the team at Quality Work, and I did.
Yeah.
I
On
gained
the
like friends who are almost family out of that time there. So yeah.
But you need always the two parts. You need the person who see it,
Yeah.
and you need the person who take this advice. Okay,
Yeah.
or believe in that what you are saying. And we have seen many times that there are many skilled people there, and need just to give you a hint or just to give them a support. And we have in our cases at the Agile Testing Days, we have few of them that we are supporting there, and the most of them, by the way, are women,
Yeah.
because normally based on maybe on the culture that
Yeah.
we have, um, um, women don't want to shine that much, so
As much.
they wait. They wait. It's a pity because I think that that we need this equality,
Yeah.
and this is something that we want to do. And I've been looking today, and I saw that this is the first year, and we are trying that for 17 years, that we are almost 50% men and women. So there's 48% women and 52% men, and
Yeah.
this is amazing because
Yeah.
we try to push that, and that's very important because there
Yeah.
is a lot of young voices there that need to get pushed, and we love that.
Yes. I love that too. And you guys are doing a great job with that. I think I still also need to call out Lisa Crispin because she played a big part in me to even applying for Agile Testing Days this year. She doesn't know, but I've been a long time members. Stacey introduced me to Agile testing through the first book that she and Janet did, and I read that entire book and I learned so much, and it verified or validated certain things that I was trying out in my QA role at the time. But yeah, I learned a lot from her, and then the push or encouragement from her to apply, and then she's seen the work that I'm putting out there now, and she's a big supporter. I am so appreciative.
Yeah, um, she is love. She
Yeah.
is a lot. She's giving a lot, and she doesn't care about many things. She's just giving. She's
Yeah.
giving. And this is amazing. That's always what I said to people. Ask Lisa; she will help you,
Yeah.
and she does. And this is amazing. And yeah, that's
Yeah. I want to say congrats to on the 50-50 men and women equality thing there. That's a big one, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
yes, yes.
Oh,
But we try there for more. So
yeah.
we think that there is a lot of women there with a lot of very nice stories that but there's things that but this is always an issue. First one is not only men and women or whatever you feel. So there is also an issue with the language.
Yes.
So it's difficult to get people from France. It's difficult to get people from Spain. It's difficult to get people from Italy and so on because, as you notice, English is not my mother language.
Yeah.
So
But
and and many people struggle with that. So there's a lot of constraints there, and we
Yeah.
need to see how we can put them then away. But
Well, I hope that's going to change now with what technology is allowing us to do. I mean, in my wish to travel more, I'm saying I'm not going to let language be a barrier. I will use Google Translate or one of those apps to make sure I can communicate with whoever I'm meeting in the foreign country. Yeah.
so then what do you tend to overcomplicate?
Everything. Everything. I want to say
Should
I don't know how to explain it, but I do. Like, if I'm given a task, I want to excel. And before actually hitting the task done, I go through a process of overthinking and refining and trying to perfect it. And so I overcomplicate things in the beginning sometimes. And then it usually calls on, a team member or somebody or myself with the right amount of time to rein myself back in, to be like, no, just focus on getting it done. I think I posted about this recently too. Just getting stuff done, because I do have a tendency to do that. So with what you see me doing on my blog and posting on socials, this is my attempt of simplifying the things that I know in my mind, because it's all complicated in there. Yeah.
But I tell you that, or I can tell you that when you get older, you go completely in the other direction.
Wait, that's what I heard. That when I reach 40.
You try to make it easy, not overcomplicate things.
Yeah. And I was
Um,
saying I need to hurry up and get to that age so I can get to that stage of just simply doing things.
I have for myself, so I want to tell something. So for myself, it is the things that oh, okay. I see things very clearly because I think,
Yeah.
and the people around me said the same about
Nice.
me, that I see the things uncomplicated. So I can look for a very logical solution for something very easy. So
Yeah.
for example, when we define processes and so on, so I can say no, this is too complicated. This is
Yeah.
the way. The people say, oh, true, and so on. So this is very a very easy one. And for myself, it's really a pain to spend time with people working when they do all the things overcomplicated. So from myself, I say, why, and just to stay calm, it costs me ages.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I look so old, but I'm really very young.
Oh my God. That means my complications wouldn't work very well for you right now. My
I
complicated.
don't know, but I can tell you, my team can tell you, I can stand for long, so there's no problem.
Yeah,
I,
that's good.
I'm always. I remember many years ago, I have a person working with me very close, and this person was always complaining about the work the other people have done. I said, okay, this is I have explained once, I was explained twice, and the people are not delivering what I'm saying. I said, okay, you have the chance to tell them 3 times, 4 times, fifth time, 5 times, or you do it by your own.
Yeah,
There's no other thing. So I mean, uh, killing
yeah,
people is not the way.
yeah.
Yeah,
I get
that's
you.
the way. Ah,
We've gotten through a lot of questions so far.
yes, but not that much. So let's go let's go to something very nice, because I think this, I don't know about you, but let's see. Because, like I said, I read a little bit about Jamaica. And so, do you believe? Are you religious?
Um, I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. That's on the Christian side. But I have, since knowing myself more, decided to not choose any denomination. So I respect religion, I get it, but I don't like, I'm not a person who goes to church every day. And I know the Bible because I studied it growing up, but I've decided like I don't like segregation. And
Okay.
I fear that religion does that, especially here in Jamaica. You can feel that, and I never liked it. So I've just decided to make myself just a good person,
Okay.
living by good morals and values. So, but I'm not open. I'm against discussing it. If you want to, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but just it's just that my husband and I believe that we should just be living the best lives that we can as humans. We're not going around hurting people, or committing sins.
Yeah.
We believe marriage is a solid institution. Like these foundational things are things that I live by, but I'm not just resigned to a church and saying praise God for whatever reason without any meaning behind it. I don't know if that will change, but right now, where I am in my life now, this is where I am.
For myself, it's for me, I would like to have the power to believe, but I don't have the power to believe,
Wow.
because when I see people that really believe in God
Yeah.
and behave in that way, because the thing is, you can believe in God and then do whatever you want. So
Yeah.
that's not believing. This is fast. This is just taking what you want and that's it. But when people, and I have few friends really in different religions, that
Hmm.
they not only believe in that, they practice that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter where they are.
Yeah.
And uh, and I said always, wow, I would love to have this power, but
Yeah.
I I have not the power to believe. I have not the power. So I'm sorry. I if you believe and you do so, then I said great. But if you said you're a Christian,
Hmm.
but you behave not in the way that
Yeah.
you should, and you sin,
Yeah.
then I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
that's not believing. That
Yeah.
is just taking the life as good as you can, and had nothing to do with believing, in
Yeah.
my eyes.
I
Yeah.
get that. I think I get that. There's a level of faith that I see people have that I kind of envy too, but then I realize I think it's people need something to hold on to in this life. And for some people, it's their faith and it's God and it's that side. But for me, what I need to hold on to is being a good person, doing good things, raising a good human being in my son. That's how I feel about it. So I'm committed to that, like how someone is committed to their faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, good. What happens when we die?
Oh, um, that one is deep. I actually lost someone. Um, there've been a couple deaths around
Oh, I'm sorry.
the last couple of weeks. Yeah, so I don't know. I want to believe that when you die, your body is no longer here, but your soul and the spirit of you is somewhere, possibly in the trees, in nature, in the wind. It's all around. I don't know. The people that I know who died these last 2 years, this is how I think about them, that they're, when I stand outside and I look up to the sky and I say, thank God that you were here. And yeah, you see, I'm there saying thank God. I still use the term, but it's it's fine. I just want to feel like they're still with us, even when you're not here.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't see the point. I cannot survive. Yeah, it has to be that you carry on some way.
When you said thanks God, so what are you holding on to just in case?
Holding on to God. Maybe. I think there's a part of me that does. I do say that saying a lot. Or I'll say thank Jah. Maybe. But I also think that has a lot to do with how I was raised. So that's me underneath, just probably going back to what I learned growing up. I might be holding on, Jose. You might be onto something. Yeah.
That's a very nice one. What story from your life do you tell differently now than you did 5 years ago or 10 years ago? Do you see things differently now?
I do. I think I used to take things maybe too serious in life.
Okay.
And 2 years ago, now my best friend had lost her partner, and that whole experience kind of woke me up to say, life is short, and you never know when it's going to be your time. So have a little fun. Don't be so serious about the work, because I used to stress a lot about work and getting things right. And not that I don't stress now, I still do, but just not as much as I used to. And I can't wait until I get to 40, where I'm in the simple minded state to not overthink all of that so much. Yeah, did I answer you?
Yes, completely. Yeah, I give you the time, so that's
No problem. Just that one took me back a bit.
This is also a very nice one. When did you first become aware of your own contradictions? Especially with your child.
Yeah, I was going to say when I was having him around 24. Yeah, because there were a lot of things that I did that were contradictory to what.
Oh, your internet is gone. She told me that her internet may collapse at some point because they had the whole day difficulties. No, you're back.
I'm back.
You're back. So the question was, let me. When did you first become aware of your own contradictions?
The contradictions, right? So I think it was around the time that I had my son. We didn't do it. My life wasn't traditional. It wasn't like I got married first and then had my son after. I had my son first and then got married after. I also didn't have a big wedding. I had something very small with just my witnesses. These were things that I didn't expect to go how they went for me in my life. Because I used to think, oh, yes, I have to have a big wedding and I'm going to get married first. And then we're going to have 4 kids and going to live in this big house. And it didn't turn into that. But I'm very happy with how it turned out for myself. So I think having my son was what really brought that up to me when I realized that I have this tiny human who is dependent on me for everything.
Yeah.
And yes, I have my own things to work on as a human,
Yes.
but I have to help him too. So I have to be the best version of me for him to see, like to
Okay.
lead by example with this little one.
What part of you have always been there, no matter how much you have changed?
I think this optimistic side, this smiling, energetic, bubbly type has been consistent from I know myself. Regardless of what's going on, I think I have a way of focusing on the positive. Um, and it's helped me a lot in my
Nice. What label or identity have you outgrown?
Aha. I like that one. I think it's just all the titles. All the titles of senior QA consultant or, you know, just any title. I don't want to box myself in anymore because with what's happening with AI now, I realize you cannot stay in a box. You have to be one of those what they call multifaceted type of people in order to survive. And for the longest time, I was trying to put myself in a box. No, I'm not doing that anymore. I am open, um, and that's why I think I'll go with just technologist as a title right now because it's a mix of everything that I'm doing. Um, so I dropped that. Let me see. There might be another one on the personal side. Um, no, I can't. I can't think of any. I'm sorry. Maybe you
That's
should
okay.
one.
No. That's okay. It's fine.
Oh,
Take easy. Take easy. Mhm. What do you most hope is not too late?
it's not too late to do the things that I had in the backlog all these years. I hope it's not too late to have
No,
drafts of
your internet,
articles. It
your,
went
your
out.
your internet was gone a little bit. So
Oh, sorry. Did you hear?
no.
Okay, you can hear me now.
Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope it's not too late for me to publish the things and put out what I want into the world. I have piles of journals and notes of things from early in my career, advice to myself, tips and tricks that I left for myself. And I want to put those all out there, but I'm just, pacing myself with how much I put out there because I want to do it consistently too. And I want it to be good quality. Um, so yeah, I have time. That's what I'm telling myself. I have time to get all of that done. I'm still young in my career.
Yes, you are a young, very young lady.
Yeah.
You have a lot
So
of time.
yeah.
We will see you and hear you for a long time, I guess.
Yes, I don't plan to go anywhere.
I hope so. So, what helps you to come back to your center?
Quiet and breathing. So even before coming on to talk to you, I was a little nervous and I just had to sit here and breathe in the quiet, turn off the TV. My husband wasn't here, son isn't here. Um, Sometimes too music. I love music. I love soca music. I don't know if you know that genre. It's a Caribbean genre. It's actually from Trinidad, but I love to listen to soca music because it's very upbeat, and they're mostly singing about good vibes.
Okay. I need to look for that. I maybe have heard that. I don't know. I am not so into music.
I might send you one that I listen to when I need a push or just just center, as you say.
Send it to me, please. Send it to me.
Yeah.
I will hear that. So
Yeah.
that could be very, very nice. So what would you name this season of your life?
My word for the year was discipline, but we're 6 months into the year, and I think I'm sticking with discipline, but also gratitude. So right now where I am pausing to look at everything that is happening. As I keep saying to you, things are coming my way, things that I've wished for a while. And it's kind of overwhelming because with great things comes great responsibility. But I just try to remind myself that this is what I did want. I'm in this season now where things are coming. Just execute the best way that I can. Because I know 5 years from now, when I look back, I'm going to be proud of what I actually put out there. Yeah.
That's true. That's nice. So what do you leave behind in this conversation?
As in me coming out of the conversation?
Yeah.
That I've made some great choices in my life.
Okay. That's nice.
Because they all led me here. And they're leading me down the path that I think is the right one for me.
Okay. Do you know we are in the bar?
Yes, we are.
It's very late. We are alone.
Yeah.
You are totally drunk. I'm serving you, and there is a point where then the customer or the people coming to just make a confession.
Yes.
What is the confession of you? What's your confession?
In my drunken state.
What do you want to tell us? Me, of course, only me.
Only you, right? Nobody is hearing.
Nobody's here.
Maybe that sometimes I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. That's my confession. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, you mean imposter?
Yeah, imposter syndrome.
So welcome to our lives.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one.
we all. I'm asking myself what I'm doing here.
Right. That's my confession. That happens a lot. And I have to remind myself, no, you did the work. You're doing the work. Yeah.
How do you say goodbye in Jamaica when you say to your friends when you leave? How do you say that?
I normally end with a take care ending to my friends. I can't think of what's the actual word? Yeah, that's what I would say. Take care. I don't hear a lot of people use that one, but when I say it, I mean it. I mean, until I see you next time, Jose,
Okay.
please do take care of yourself,
Yeah. Thanks so much for your time. Take care. Okay. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in November in Berlin. Thanks so much.
Thank you too.